And as we mentioned, a lot on the line here, and it's an interesting heat. John Florence already up to number 2. We talked about it at the start of quarterfinal number 3. We see John on the bottom half of the draw being almost unstoppable if the conditions remain the way they are. We're expecting more swell tomorrow. He's a really good chance of taking the win here. But Adrian Buchan always turns up in heats against big names. He's looked sharp throughout the contest. And Adrian is sharing the lineup with his best friend on the championship tour, and the man who has caused just a complete shift up from in Ace's approach in 2016. Matt Wilkinson winning the first 2 events of the year, and since the Gold Coast has looked pretty sharp in that yellow jersey.
Now, this is actually a radical heat, because you think John, okay, he's a heavy favorite, but Ace, as you mentioned, is going to be very tough to beat. He knows where to sit.
And here he goes, taking off deep, getting that inside position for the first exchange. And he is still rolling through this pit. He finds the exit. Let's see if this thing grows down the line. He wants a big square section here to really convert this wave into a huge number. Couple of turns, just lost a little bit too much speed on that second move. But it will be a reasonable start.
The spin's in my bag. Yeah, I got it. And if they get that other board back, if it's just a snap leggy, the other one I just snapped.
Well, Adrian Buchan, he might have broken his leg rope just now, so just chatting with his caddy there. Some instructions to get another backup board. He's got fins in his bag. As we see John Florence now just toying with this smaller ride. So much control in the tube. Matt Wilkinson behind him on a good looking wave. He gets puffed out of the barrel and sets up another line. Wilco just scrapping his way through to this 4th round yesterday. Looking a little bit more sure of himself now. Probably feeling a little more relaxed, Ross, because a 9th place finish at worst isn't bad for the Jeep leader. It'd be his best finish in this contest as John Florence keeps busy. Let's go with some big turns here on the inside. Bit of foam on the face, no dramas for the Hawaiian. He continues to dig in down the line. And the best result he had came in 2013. In pumping conditions, he had a semi-final. But here's the replay of the opening exchange. Adrian Buchan's ride first, a 6.83.
Yeah, Ace, nice starting barrel there, trying to wipe some speed off. And then he whips into just a little speed line hack before he stumbles right there. So 6.83, not too bad. The wave behind, though, much better. You can see this thing grow. Gets way more intense right here. There's where it really gets thick with that shallow reef. A second barrel right here is even better. Tucks in behind, smooth exit for Wilco. And I like these carves from him. I like how he, a different technique. He sits down through those little hacks. Another little wrap. So 2 decent turns, 2 barrels. That should have him in the lead. Although John has 2 waves, so this is his quick backup, and this is a very smart move from John, realizing, you know what? I want to go ahead and get just a little foundation for myself. A couple of scores, and he made the most of it with a couple of nice snaps. So just like Gabriel Medina, John trying to put a lot of effort into these waves just to eke out another point or 2 and make a pretty average wave into a score.
Live action now as Adrian Buchan stalls. Looking to hold the lead with this second ride. Couple of nice manoeuvres. Bit of foam on the face here. He's going to kick out as that thing shuts down. And behind him, it looks like Matt Wilkinson's going to get another shot here. Falling out of the sky on the takeoff before stalling under the lip. But that wave just fades away into the channel and he gets out of there. So waiting on some numbers to come through with just on 26 minutes remaining. We saw Adrian Buchan jumping on a new board just moments ago It looked like after his first ride he wore a wave on the head. Strider, what happened there?
Well, you could say that the leash held up, but the leash plug popped out of the board. That's how hard these waves are pulling through that inside section. That wave blasted him, and it ripped the leash plug right out of the board. It's really hard to do that. These boards are made really well, but the leash held up. Let me tell you, there's some power out here in the lineup right now, and the boys are loving it.
So much like Kelly Slater, Adrian Buchan's going to have to make that adjustment on his backup equipment. As we see out the back, John Florence using priority deep on this one. Bit of foam to negotiate to begin with, but this wave is rifling. And John, well, he might have just got caught up on the foam ball for a moment, which can really take your pace away. And as a result, he doesn't come out. Have a look at this one, though, for Adrian Buchan, stalling. And this thing is going to open up now. Just a quick cover. Got the opportunity to get his board on rail. He skips out. Maybe still just getting used to that backup board.
Decent barrel, though. So far, everyone's kind of sharing the same type of start. Okay scores, one, decent one, right around the 7 mark. But tons of time left, and we haven't really seen that perfect set roll through yet. So it's all about who's going to be in line when that good one comes in.
You could almost hear Beat Durbridge after those first few heats and the amount of excellent rides that we've seen. I'm sure he would have been telling Beat would have been telling John, don't go looking or waiting for those excellent scores. Get a couple of numbers on the board, because Cloudbreak can slow up throughout the rounds. It can switch off for half an hour at a time.
Definitely, and it's a rhythm thing too. It just keeps you busy. It keeps the other guys on their toes. They might be worried about what you're doing as opposed to the other way around, which is what, that's how you want to surf a heat. You just want to worry about where you are and what you can do out there. So, it keeps everyone on alert when you're staying busy. We see Ace right there, just not really getting that rail in the water. As you mentioned, it is a backup board, so hopefully he can get settled in.
The push up between Tasmania and New Zealand, and these lines get plenty of time to sort themselves out before wrapping around this reef. But with these long periods, these swells, they travel such a long way, and they break with plenty of purpose on the inside. Just over 22 minutes remaining as Matt Wilkinson goes looking for just a 3.03 to get himself into the lead. Adrian Buchan out in front at this stage with a 6.83 and a 3.93. A really even start to this matchup for all three surfers.
Yeah, kind of a funny one. They're all in the same boat. They have one wave that maybe even that's not what they want to hold on to at the end of the heat. So it just feels like right now they're all trying to get their tempo set for this heat. They're all looking for that, that magic wave that throws them into the excellent score or higher. And Wilco, had to take a lot of time to get around that foam. Paid off with a little barrel there, but too short to be a keeper of a score.
Some movement at the moment. Adrian Buchan with priority. Looking at this one, and it looks pretty good. Even John had his eye on it. He's deep. Can he punch through this section? Doesn't look like he will. And out wide, Florence will wear this one on the head.
The passion to get, really deep barrels and surf great at places like Pipeline and Chopu, that's where Gabriel Medina and John come into play.
Well, here goes John now on one of the thicker waves of this heat. And you just know he's going to come out as he sets up a line through the inside. Plenty of speed here. Rolling through this one, no hands, pumping his board to maintain speed. He loves the feel of it, and he just throws in a little backhand carve for good measure. And why not bash the lip right there over that shallow inside. 19.5 minutes ago, Florence was counting on a 4.17. Consider that dropped, and an excellent score coming his way.
Oh my gosh, the waves are just on fire. So again, a sneaky wave from John, and give credit to him, he found it. That was a runner that went wide and rifled across the reef through the inside section. that shish kebab section, and that wave was so fast. So John was speeding through that barrel, no hands. Got 2 for 1 there, didn't he? The first part of the barrel, and then that second half through shish kebabs. So here's the first part, very technical, late drop. He grabs rail, nice and deep. Questionable whether he was coming out, and then sailed through. So already he's looking at a big score. And here's the second half where it runs through this very speedy, fast section of shish kebabs. No hands, all about keeping that speed up. So, I mean, he's going, I don't know, maybe 25 miles an hour through that inside section, which is really flying for a surfer. I love that. It was almost like 2 different waves in one.
Well, the judges loved it too. The numbers are starting to roll through. Could be our third 10-point ride as John just dances with the foam ball on that first section.
I love the position he gets with that front leg too. He kind of keeps his upper body straight up and down, and just drags that front knee nice and low and on the wave, and that allows him to gauge his speed. If he needs to slow down, he drags a little bit more knee in the water. And right here he goes hands-free. It's all about keeping that speed up. You can see how fast that wave is. Amazing angle there from the drone. .93, so barely under the 10-point mark there, Ronnie. I don't think he's going to care, though. And that was that claim. That was a claim like, are you kidding me?
Well, 3 judges threw 10s at it. We had a 9.8 and a 9.5 dropped. Got rid of the 9.5. One of the 10s goes missing as well. The 3 remaining scores averaged out at a 9.93. John, well out in front now, and Adrian Buchan in seconds, looking for a 9.61. Matt Wilkinson with priority out there. He's chasing an 8.71. Well, back to the heat in the water. Heat 4 of round 4. And Matt Wilkinson, the Jeep leader, he's looking to get himself an 8.71 to take the lead. And setting this up pretty nicely. Not too deep just yet, but this wave is stretching out, and Wilco is still deep in the barrel. He finds the exit. Gets a bit of wind on those side panels. Certainly has stepped things up since his round 3 heat yesterday afternoon. He did find one good barrel to get the jump on Alejo, but I think those earlier rounds is where Matt is most stressed.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolute perfect wave right there. He's going to find himself in the lead. He needs an 8.7. Amazing barrel there.
Look at the conditions as Adrian Buchan gets his opportunity to lock in an excellent score. He gets spat out. Is there more down the line for the Australian? He pulls up under it for a moment, bit of foam on the face, and he now goes to the rail. A really bad place to fall, but it looks like he might have dodged that trip over the falls. Just punching through as the Water Patrol races in quickly, trying to get him out of trouble here. A pretty solid number here. Let's check it out again. 8.83 for this ride, Ross.
A nice easy drop for Matty, so he was allowed to take his time and read this wave, and he stepped on the gas right there and sailed through that last section. It was really long. So I think the judges kept it from going higher than an 8.83 just due to the fact that the wave was so perfect. It looked like for sure every single second of the way he was going to make it out. You know, never did he really ride the foam ball. Right there, he's next to it. Wow, he did kind of come over the foam ball there for a half a second. So, you know, he's going to paddle back out and go, wow, 8.83, come on, guys.
He got the lead. That would have been the goal. And he definitely is flirting with the foam ball for a moment. But like you said, it was just a beautiful tube, nice and open. A good example of what we've spoken about at different stages of this event. The foam ball here at Cloudbreak is way further back in the barrel because this thing rifles so quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the wave for Matty, looking at the shape of it, has a lot to do with the score as well. If you have a wave that has no back, a lot of water behind it, and is square, that's when it's easy to throw big scores at it. Watch the shape of this wave as Ace pulls into it. That's that thick look what we're looking for. Spits him out. That was absolutely sick. So just a quick one for Ace. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have that long inside section where he could get a 2 for 1. And it's a similar score, 8.3.
A great heat to finish off the 4th round. 8.5 minutes to go. Bede and Taj, obviously good friends in a really close heat. Bede got the job done there, and then today his 2 travel buddies, Adrian Buchan and Matt Wilkinson, are in the lineup. And John's out there too, so putting all that aside, trying to will John on to victory as we see Adrian Buchan making a run at the lead here. Needs an 8.24, a really pretty wave, but you get the feeling it's not gonna serve up that excellent ride.
Yeah, you definitely want to find that heavy double up on the ledge to get a big score, but a nice smooth ride there for Ace. A couple of barrels. Look, at that point he's just having fun out there without priority.
Starting to stand up now, and John, he's going to have a shot at the lead here. Dropping to the bottom, fading straight away, gets up underneath it. A tricky entry. Is he still rolling through this one? It's pinching just a little bit, and he's not going to come out. 1.5 minutes remaining. Our prediction was that John would make the jump directly through to the quarters, but at this stage it's looking a little different approach than he's had in the past, and it looks like Ross, he's going to be hanging on to the yellow jersey when we get to Jeffries.
Radical, yeah, such a close heat. And you know, you need 2 solid waves. That 6.5 is a nemesis for John. So great heat for Matty, and he's gonna skip that sketchy round 5.
Well, this is huge for the Australian as Adrian Buchan takes off. He's up before the hooter. He needs an 8.24 from this ride, and there just isn't that big tube on offer at the moment, so he won't get there. John should still be hanging on to that 2nd position as we see Wilco, just for fun, pulling up under this one. Stand up hit on the inside.
Hello.
That's got to feel good, and he's going to be psyching.
Oh, you can see right there, he just gave a big old growl. He is stoked. He knows beating John out here is a huge deal.
Watch the reaction from Glenn Hall, his coach. They know how big a deal that is. That is a huge keeper result at an event where Matt hasn't been past the 3rd round before.
Again, it just smoking any past results he's got in the past. This is his year right now, and he's going to be well in the lead going to J-Bay.